Look at that. Hey guys, AJ here back on the one for you. So guys, I've said it once and I'll say it again. These 304s broke as a joke, man. It's just like Kevin Samuel says.
Winter is coming.
Guys, winter is here, right? That's credit card debt, student loan debt, right? High interest car loans, bastard kids. They're cooked, right? And then one day they take a look at their finances and they decide, hey, I have a great idea. I'm gonna claim bankruptcy. Absolute clown world. What type of moron? What type of dolt? What kind of
Beta female
doesn't pay back their loans, right? So guys, we go to the dumpster fire notes, TikTok, look at some of these knuckleheads that have decided to claim bankruptcy. But before we do, like, subscribe, and drop a comment, guys. I have a second channel called 50 and 304s. Check that out. Join my Discord. There's a playlist at the end, and let's get into this.
Video about how I filed for bankruptcy, and a lot of people were telling me that filing bankruptcy for $13,000 is crazy, which I don't understand because you don't know what my life was like, and $13,000 was a lot for me. And like I said, I was making those credit card payments and then having to use the credit cards again because I couldn't afford basic necessities. Like, I wasn't making a lot of money. And also a lot of people were saying that $10,000 credit cards is not a lot. 3 $10,000 limit credit cards as a college student is absolutely insane, and I misused them. So again, it was a revolving door, and I'm also an entrepreneur, and I was pregnant when I filed for bankruptcy, and so maybe put 2 and 2 together and think, oh, so she owns her own business, she doesn't get maternity leave. Did you think about that before you wanted to think and put your input? Yeah, as a business owner, I get no paid maternity leave. I get nothing. I'm just out of work. So I had to save for that. I had to buy a car seat. I had to buy a stroller. I had to buy a crib. I had to buy clothes. I had to buy books. I had to buy all the baby necessities because I was preparing to do this on my own. And now that I filed for bankruptcy, I finally can save money. I finally can put money into a retirement account.
Look at that.
So before, I was struggling to get by because my months were different. My business was up and down and up and down. It was too much, and I could not afford to live. I scaled back. I moved to my parents' house. I was able to save and buy anything that my baby needed. I also was able to move into an apartment and fully furnish it in the first month. And now I have a retirement account for myself and a savings for my child. So yeah, $13,000 might not be a lot for you, and claps, congratulations, but it was a lot for me, and I was gonna be paying on it for a long time because I was irresponsible with the cards and the interest rates were high and the payments just wouldn't stop. And it's the best thing I ever did. I don't regret it at all. I would have filed even if I had $9,000.
Look at that.
But I made this video to be helpful, not for people to be coming at me for choices that are best for my life, because you don't know my life based on one video that I was just telling you my experience with filing for bankruptcy. I made it.
Look at that, guys. Right? I told you, guys. I told you. Guys, she says, guys, she's an entrepreneur. Guys, anytime a chick says that she's an entrepreneur, all it means is
you're a bum.
That's all it means. And you guys notice she said that she was pregnant. She said she was in college, right? And she got pregnant. You know what would help you actually afford the baby seat? Having a husband first before you got pregnant. You absolute dunderhead.
You stupid woman.
Clown world, right? Look at that. So she's pregnant because obviously, you know, she let Nug shoot up the club. And then she just decides to claim bankruptcy and act like, wow, this is the best thing I ever did. I'd do it again. It's a sound strategy. Think about how stupid that is, guys. And she's saying this on the internet like this is an effective strategy towards wealth, right? Come on, man. What are you talking about?
Some people are really fucking stupid.
Clown world. Guys, she has 69 comments, okay? First girl says, girl, I filed in 2019 over $15,000 for the same reason. Don't let people bring you down. Next girl says, baby, I have $11,000 to $12,000 in debt. I'm gonna file for bankruptcy. Next girl says, in 2022, I filed bankruptcy for about $13,000 too after having my son. So this chick did the same thing. Look at that. Look at that. People, are so quick to judge. Cheers to you, mama. Guys, these chicks are cooked. Last person here says, I owe $16,000. How long does this process take? So guys, men have debt, but guys, us men, we would claiming bankruptcy like this, guys. Come on. We'd rather get a second job, right? Or a third job. But the idea of you signing on the dotted line and giving your word that you're going to pay this cash back and not doing it is an anathema to what us men stand for. Come on, man. And guys, we need to start calling these chicks what they are.
You're a bum!
Bums, right? Guys, they're hashtags. You ready? Hashtag credit, hashtag credit cards, hashtag single mom, of course. Hashtag bankruptcy clown world.
4 years old, I filed for bankruptcy and I feel like I'm finally ready to talk about it. I feel like a bit nervous about talking about it because people probably don't see it, but whenever I get like hateful and rude comments, I just delete them. So I feel like this is opening me up to that. And yeah, I'm just a bit nervous about it, but I'm gonna share it anyways so people have better understanding of my background, why I am the way that I am about money. So I filed bankruptcy in November of 2018. I think it stays on my record for another 2 years, which is why I'm kind of like, whatever, like I'll just talk about it now because it's gonna pass soon. But yeah, so basically what happened is, I won't get into the whole long story, but I ended up racking up $25,000 worth of like credit card and line of credit debt.
Look at that.
I didn't have the proper education on money and on budgeting. And when I was able to get a credit card and have credit, I used it. The way it worked for me is I met with a debt person. I showed them all my debts, basically signed over everything to them, and I ended up paying, I think it depends on your income and depends on your debt. I don't know exactly how it works. I honestly forget. I ended up paying like $180 a month for 9 months, and then my debt was cleared. Didn't include my car because I never missed a car payment, and I didn't include my student loan because it was too new, and if it was like within 5 years, your student loan had to be more than 5 years old, I think. I know that people are probably going to ask about that, like, why didn't I lose my car? I want to get rid of it, and it's obviously very hard to get a car and get a new loan with a bankruptcy on your record. So this is why I am so like budget conscious, and I really do try and spend responsibly as best I can, and why I'm kind of like uptight about money and like everything needs to be perfect. Plus the fact that I live by myself and I'm the only person that pays the bills, like it only falls back on me. I don't have anything else to rely on, so that is why I am the way I am about that. And while yes, you can say, why would you listen to my input? Like I'm in debt or I filed bankruptcy, but like that's more reason to listen to me because I've gone through it. And so my purpose is to like help other people not have to go through it too. Anyways, let me know if you have any other questions. I feel like this just gives you some context and lets you know that I'm a human being. And I've made mistakes. I've definitely learned from them. I feel like the debt I have now is definitely not a mistake. It's more out of necessity. But yeah. Anyways, let me know if you have any questions. And I was 20.
Look at that, guys. Right? So she decided, screw it. I'm just going to claim bankruptcy at 24 years old. Absolutely insane. And guys, look at this. See, this didn't used to happen because there used to be two incomes, right? These women, they would get married, there would be two incomes, or back in the day, see, the women didn't even have bank accounts or credit cards. Well, they didn't have this type of debt, did they? Right? All these effinists fought to have these chicks have bank accounts and all this.
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore.
Clown world, right? And now guess what?
Congratulations. You played yourself.
You played yourself. Now, guys, she has 1,600 comments here. Someone says, wait a minute. Your most recent video says you have $35,000 in debt right now. Not trying to be mean, but how could that happen? She says, in Canada, this doesn't include student loan debt and tax debt. So guys, this was credit card debt on top of her student loan debt. Wow. So she still has debt. Next girl says, I did it at 27. Best decision ever. Look at that. Girl says, I filed bankruptcy in 2017. I think I was like 23. Best decision I ever made. Look at that, guys. Last guy says, this last girl says, I filed 24 and never told a soul. I had $65,000 in debt. These chicks are cooked. And guys, we all know the reason why they actually do this is because they know either the taxpayers will pay it off or they're counting on some simp to
Here I come to save the day.
swoop in and pay it off. So guys are hashtags. Hashtag debt-free journey. Hashtag debt-free. Hashtag budget-friendly. Hashtag credit card debt. Hashtag bankruptcy. Hashtag bankrupt clown world.
So I told you I would take y'all on my bankruptcy journey with me as
Bankruptcy
things
journey.
happen. I guess if I ever learn how to make a playlist on here, I'll make a playlist on here. If y'all have any questions and you're thinking about it, I can let you know what has happened to me so far. But to this date, I just received a letter from one of my credit unions. I have 2 credit unions and I have a bank. Why I had 3 accounts? As I started to watch my money, honestly, I started to create different accounts just to, I had like a bill. This was strictly for my bills. This is personal use, so that's how I basically did it. Didn't have a whole lot of save, because of course I was robbing Peter to pay Paul by paying all this debt. So that's what led me to the bankruptcy. But to this day, I just received a letter from one of my credit unions, which is actually my main credit union. And they're basically telling me that on November 12th, I will no longer have access to my checking accounts. They basically will be closing all of my accounts. The only account that I'm allowed to have with them is the savings, reason being my car and a personal loan I had with them. So being that those are being put in the bankruptcy, they're saying that because I defaulted on that, then I can't have my checking accounts, but I am allowed to have a savings. With that also, I can't do any drive-through transactions. Like I got to go inside every time. But I do have 2 other banks. Like I said, that was my main account. So my direct deposit, all my bills and everything. So this will be a big adjustment because now I have to go change all of my bill accounts over to another bank. But I'm waiting to see if I receive any other letters in the mail. I don't know if this is a credit union thing or a bank thing or if this just a neighbor's thing. So I'm waiting to see if I get a letter from Navy Federal or Capital One with this same verbiage. That way I can know if I need to try to come up with another plan. But if they don't have these same guidelines, because to be honest, I didn't have anything with Navy Federal that went into the bankruptcy. So if that's the case, I might just switch everything over to them. But yeah, I was a little mad at first. I'm like, oh Lord, I gotta go through all this, but it is what it is. I'm trusting the process. I do believe that this was the best decision for me.
Look at that.
So I'll just wait to see if I get any other information from any of the other banks, and then I'll just have to go through the process of changing everything over. Good thing is I'm about to start a new job, so my direct deposit will go to, so that's one less thing I gotta worry about. But yeah, so keep watching if you're interested, if you're thinking about it. Excuse my son, he's on this game. But if you thought about it, hopefully that something that happens along my process can help you decide whether you want to or not want to make the decision to file bankruptcy. Again, I'm doing a chapter 13. I didn't do a chapter 7. Okay.
There you go, guys. Right? And of course, she has her son in the background. Right? I don't see a father or anything, right?
You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom. Now you a single mom.
Clown world. And she's acting like this is this great thing, right? These chicks talk about bankruptcy like how guys are in certain circles talking about like investment strategies, right? You know what I mean? Guys, the taxpayers have to pay off this debt. You know? I wish that they get rid of all of this, all these social programs, all these things, guys. And here's the thing: they can do this, guys, and not get any type of stigma. But a guy does it, right? And everyone thinks he's a bum, he's a loser, whatever. That's what we start calling these knuckleheads, right? Bums, right?
You're a bum!
Absolutely insane. Guys, I'm not going to even read her hashtags. It's just a bunch of B-dubs, right? Bragging about the same thing. But guys are, sorry, her comments. But guys are hashtags. Hashtag single mom, of course. Hashtag debt-free journey. Hashtag debt-free. Hashtag bankruptcy. Hashtag chapter 13. All right, you guys. This is AJ. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, and guys, I'm out of here. Have a good one.